Hey everyone, what's up? Jason here. Welcome back to another video on my channel. And I was going to make this yesterday, but I didn't. So I'm going to be posting two videos today then. Well, not two videos, but I mean technically two videos. This video, and then later on, I will be doing a live stream on how to use MuseScore. Well, I'm actually going to be writing a song in MuseScore. So stay tuned for that later. But anyway, onto the video. So in today's video, I will this will kind of just be a quick video of me talking about how my school sports have been going. Cross country, wrestling, and track. So yeah. Let's get into it. So first, let's talk about cross country. And this year was my first year doing it, and it was actually pretty fun. The first course I ran, I got a 45:39, which that was my first ever run, or long distance run. And my goal during that run wasn't to really aim for a specific time, but I just told myself what I want to do is finish. And then on my next course, I think I got like a 43 something, I don't remember. It was a home meet, so home here at our school. And yeah, and I kind of improved, but I was just looking to really improve my time. I didn't really know what I was going to get, but I kept slowly improving. And I'm trying to remember if there was one more meet before that, or if we went straight to the Deaf Nationals. It was the Deaf Nationals. So, Deaf Nationals comes around. We were supposed, so Deaf Nationals, it was hosted at the school. So a bunch of other deaf schools came, and there were also a few blind runners there. But the only problem with our blind runs, is that our scores didn't count since we were blind, but all the deaf students' scores counted. So we were supposed to have 3 runs, but we only did 2. One of the runs got canceled because there was supposed to be a bad weather. It was supposed to be a beach run, but we didn't do that. We did an on-campus run, and then we did a run on a bridge. First, we did the run on the bridge. On that bridge run, I got a 39:39, so I really improved there. But I also like bridge runs, and I also had a lot of, before running on that, we would go to practice. When we would go to practice, we would go run on the bridge. So I've had experience with bridge runs. So I got a 39:39 on that. And then next we did our campus run again. I got a 36, I think it was a 36:29. So my time ever, since I've been running, it's been going down and down and down. So, I got a 36:29 on that run. And then we went to another course, which I actually really liked this course. It was at Taylor DeWitt High School, I think. Yeah, it was before the Pedro course. But we went to that course, and I ran there, and it was a good course. I got like a 35 something. but it also had a lot of grass and a lot of sidewalk though too. So there was like a mix of both. Because cross country is different than track. On track, you're running. I'll just tell you the difference right now. On track, you just run on a track like normal. Cross country, it's a lot more, different terrain. You're running in different environments. I think I explained that in another video, but I might have explained it in, I don't even remember what the video was, but I know I did a video on like what sports I was doing or something like last year. But anyway, that course was fun. And then, I think we had another home. Yeah, we had 2 homes, plus the Deaf Nationals. I'm trying to remember what I got on that home one. Must have been a 38. I don't even remember what it was. But I know we had another home. Oh, I think it was like 36 something. For that 5K. And then after we did the home one, we had the Taylor one, and then we had the Pedro one. And I did not like that Pedro course. I did not like that at all. But it was because it was challenging. So, and the reason that I didn't like that course is because you would run, and there were these like little like bridges, just not really bridges, but they're like little like wooden slabs that would just be randomly placed like somewhere. So you run along those, and if you're not careful or you're running with a guide runner, which I am, then you could possibly fall in the water, which I actually did that. I didn't really fall, but like my feet, like they landed in the water because I misstepped. So, that course is not really visually impaired friendly. But that's why my time, it went down on that course. And it was like a 40 something. I think it was like 40-46 or 40-36. But yeah, that course was something else. But they gave us participation awards, like these little medals, which I don't understand that. If you don't really take time to, put effort into your course, you also, like, why would you take time to give people participation medals? I don't really understand it, but anyway. Well, but they, even when the course was hard, though, they, another bad thing about that course is, they were supposed to have like, people, like, out there directing people, while they were running, towards, like, what route they were supposed to go, but there were not, like, that many people out there directing people, so people didn't know where to go, and then they eventually figured it out, I guess. And some people got lost. But yeah, that course was not good. I don't think there was a meet before districts. So yeah, now it's 2 weeks that we practice, and then we go to districts. So we go to districts, and that's all the way in Tallahassee. The district course is like a really, really good course. It was really fun to run on. It was an awesome course. And that's where I PR'd. Because to be in districts, you got to be under 35 minutes. And I wasn't under 35 minutes to begin with, but those later meets, I got close and close and close, and I just kept practicing and practicing and practicing. Run like 2 to 3 miles every day. So, I've had plenty of practice. So, by the time districts came, I was ready to go. So districts comes around, we have like the first day to like of course walk the course and blah blah blah. And the day that we run, we actually ran in the morning time, which was actually really fun. Because it wasn't like, it was starting to like warm up. We came out and we ran. So, we were supposed to actually do that at Deaf Nationals when we ran for the, when we were supposed to run for the beach run, but we didn't do that. Our campus run was in the afternoon, and I've had more experience running in the afternoon. So, I was like, well, I wonder how it's going to feel running in the morning, because I've never ran in the morning. I mean, I've ran in the morning, but I've never done a whole cross-country run in the morning, like a whole 3-mile run. So, I'm like, I don't know how it's going to feel, but it felt really good. The only problem was my stupid cross-country uniform. I decided to wear too big of shorts. But in that moment, I didn't even care about that stupid thing. I was just in the mindset I'm getting under 35 minutes. I got to get this PR. So I didn't even fucking care. So we go out to run, and I was actually not running with, because usually we have people from the school, from our school, that will guide people while they run. Sometimes I'll be guided by coach, and sometimes I'll be guided by like people who want to volunteer to guide run and use the guide rope and guide me while I run. But this time, coach was like, we have these kids from this other school. Some of them are not running, but we have these girls that would want to guide you. And I'm like, and coach was like, if you don't want to do that, then, because coach didn't want to guide, because I think she was already going to guide someone else. I don't even remember the whole situation, but she was going to guide someone else, and coach was like, well, if you don't want to do that, or if you want to be guided by coach, I'll guide you for the first half of the run, and then the second half, the second loop, I'll lead you to, or I'll have you be guided by our assistant coach if you're not comfortably being guided by those girls. And so I really thought about it, and I'm like, actually, maybe, because I started talking to them, blah, 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 and they started telling me about how they run, blah, blah, blah. And I thought about it, I'm like, maybe I want to run with these kids. So I decided to run with these kids. I'm like, and they were like, well, what time are you aiming for? I'm like, under 35 minutes. I just told them straight up, under 35 minutes. So 10 minutes per mile. So we get to running, and we start running, and I usually don't stop. And we were, because there was like a little uphill of the course, and then there was like a little downhill that you go down, like when you do your first loop. And we just kept running. And like when I first started running, I was going at like a 7:50 pace. I'm like, I'm surprised I can even go that pace. So, but of course I like slowed down more. So we keep running, and I'm just thinking like, I got to get under 35 minutes. Get to the first half of the loop. It's like, I don't know, it was like 16 or 17 minutes. I'm like, I can do it. If I just keep this up, it's definitely going to happen. So that happened, and I got a 33:29 when I ran that course. So yeah, that is my cross-country season. It lasted about 2 or 3 months. So now let's talk about wrestling. So, with wrestling, there were some meets where I didn't wrestle, but there were some meets where I did wrestle. And, so our first meet was a home meet, and I did wrestle, and I lost, and then I got a couple forfeits. So there were a lot of times I didn't wrestle, but I practiced pretty hard. We had pretty hard practices too. I remember there was this practice that we had, because it wasn't really like the practices last year, where we would go to the weight room a lot. It was every day we go out to the track, run a mile. But this practice, it was because they had this first tournament that was going to go in Orange Park, but it was just the varsity kids, and they were only taking like 14 people to the tournament, and people were misbehaving and acting all up, so we had to practice hard. So we had to run 2.5 miles. After the 2.5 mile run, we had to do sprints and bear crawls. So you would sprint to the one side of the cones, and then you would bear crawl and then sprint again. And we had to do that like 5 or 6 times. I thought I was going to have a heart attack, and I'm really fit, and I'm used to like these like I could do a 3-mile run, no problem. But with that, I'm like, dude, like I thought I was going to pass out. Dude, it wore me out because, afterwards, after all that stuff outside at the track, we still had to go in and do our normal wrestling stuff. So, yeah, it was something. And so we had hard practices throughout the season. Of course, I would go to some of the wrestling meets, and then there were some ones I wouldn't go to. And then we had a Deaf Nationals tournament that we were supposed to go to in Texas. Well, I was supposed to go to it. I was on the list to go to it. But what happened is I got sick, and I came down with a cold, and I didn't want to wrestle. I didn't want to wrestle if I was going to wrestle someone, with a cold. Or if I was going to spread my sickness, I didn't want to wrestle. So I didn't go to practice all week. I didn't wrestle. And I emailed the coach. I told him I can't go because I have this cold, and I don't want to wrestle someone if, And so I didn't go, which I really wish. I was kind of bummed, but I made the right decision because I would have got someone sick. Plus, flying there, I probably would have got myself even more sick because in the air, that's where sickness like really spreads. So, yeah. So, I'm glad I didn't go, even though I really wanted to. And then, we had a meet at Orange. Well, we actually had 3 meets at Orange Park. There was one meet where we beat like 2 or 3, because when we usually go to a meet at Orange Park, there's usually 5 or 6 schools that will go, including us. We beat like half of the schools. First time we went. Well, the first time I went, because I didn't go for that Saturday Orange Park tournament. Those were only certain kids. But the second time we went, we beat like half of the schools there, including Orange Park, which we usually always beat Orange Park. But the last time we went, our energy was just, I don't know what was going on, but we were supposed to have a meet on that Wednesday and then one the very next day. But I don't know what was going on. No one wanted to wrestle. We were just all just feeling out of it. And we didn't even beat Orange Park. And I went up there to wrestle someone, and then I got and I usually don't get pinned in like 30 seconds. I usually either make them earn it or just like last like 2 or 3 rounds. Or I'll just go all 3 rounds. I can usually make myself do it but it depends on the wrestler. But in that time, I was just, I don't know what it was, but I could not, I got myself pinned in 30 seconds. And everyone else was getting pinned, too. I don't know what was happening that day. But the next day we went, things were better. We beat I think, I don't know, one school. And then, we had practice all the way until districts, which I had to wrestle off and I didn't make it to districts. But, um, we just kept practicing, you know. And yeah, that's pretty much how wrestling season went. Nothing really crazy when it comes to me happened this year than it did last year. It was kind of pretty much just same season. I don't even know if I really want to call wrestling my main sport anymore. I mean, I'm going to still do it, of course, but I may want to call it my second sport or my third sport. I used to call it my main sport, but I don't know if I can I'm not going to call it my main sport anymore. I think I'm going to have one of the running sports be my main sport. And I think that might be cross country. I'll have to see about next year and how it goes. But anyway, let's talk about track for a minute. And I don't really have much to say about track because the track season just started. So we had tryouts. I went to tryouts right after I found out I wasn't going to districts. So the next week I went to tryouts and I went to go to practice. And then we started running, and we have sprinters. They are usually doing their own thing. Then we have distance people, which I'm a distance person. And then we have all the throwing events and all the field events, which I'm doing shot put this year. Or I'm going to try to do shot put. So the events the running events I'm going to do, I'm going to do the 800, mile, and 2 mile. Last year I did the 400 and 800. And I didn't mind doing the 400 and 800, but since I've been running cross country, you know, I should be doing more distance stuff. So yeah, I'm going to be doing distance. So those are the events I'm going to be doing for the first meet, which they've already had meets, but I'm not going to any of them because it's not really like cross country where coach usually can make a guide runner, have a guide runner come, or I could just be guided by coach. With track, it's kind of different. They don't really have guide runners that come all the time to, you know, guide run with people. So that's why I can't really go to the away meets all the time. Because a lot of the guide runners that want to run for track, they're already doing other stuff. But Miss Ashel, one of the teachers, one of the science teachers, she's actually one of the assistant coaches. She said that she's going to start training to guide run, and she'll probably guide run with me or whatever. But that's why I'm technically on JV and not varsity on track. But when it comes to my running events, or what I've been doing to train for my running events, I've been running. On last week's practice, I did what's called ins and outs. So if you don't know what ins and outs are, what you do is you jog for half of the lap. So you jog on the curbs, and then when the straightaways come around, you crank it up to not exactly a run, because you're not really training for sprinting events. I mean, unless you are sprinting, you could crank it up to a sprint probably, but you crank it up to like a run pretty much, like, but not as fast as a sprint for the straightaways. Then you do that for 2 to 4 laps. And then what else I've been doing, and that is I've been doing cross country style runs where I'll run like 2 to 4 miles. That's what I've been doing as well. And then on Monday, I'm going to start doing the shot put, and I'm going to try that out and see how that works. So, yeah, that's basically cross country, track, wrestling, how all the things went. And if I can get videos of of me doing my events, I will do that. Which with wrestling, you can do that more. Like, you could get a video, but with cross country, and I mean, you could kind of do it with track as well, but with cross country, it's really hard because you're not always in the same spot. It's really, really hard for someone to try to get a video. So, yeah, that's pretty much like me talking about my sports and what I've been doing. So, yeah, if you like the video, give it a thumbs up. I will, in a few hours, I will be doing that live stream, so tune in for that if you want. And if you have like another sports video that I should do, let me know in the comments, or give me any ideas of videos that could be done next week. Which I was thinking about doing another tech video. I feel like at least every week I'm going to try to do a tech video. And then whatever else I decide to do, it could either be music or blah, blah, blah. I'm thinking tech and music next week. So, and then maybe another stream where I don't really do anything, but I watch something. I think it's probably, maybe I'm going to do the Backrooms. Because I haven't done a Backroom stream yet. And the Backrooms series, the Kane Pixels Backrooms series, is pretty much done. So all we got to worry about now is the movie. So I should do the series on a live stream sometime. So I'll do that. Because I already done the Oldest Views, so why not do the Backrooms? So yeah, that's pretty much the video. I'm gonna stop yapping. So yeah, if you like the video, give it a thumbs up, leave a comment, and I'll see you guys in that live stream. Bye.